जटाधराय हर हर बोले नमः शिवाय
नमः शिवाय ॐ नमः शिवाय हर हर भोले नमः शिवाय
नमः शिवाय ॐ नमः शिवाय हर हर बोले नमः शिवाय
नमः शिवाय ॐ नमः शिवाय हर हर भोले नमः शिवाय
नमः शिवाय ॐ नमः शिवाय हर हर भोले नमः शिवाय
गोपेश्वराय शिव गोपेश्वराय हर हर भोले नमः शिवाय
योगेश्वराय हर योगेश्वराय हर हर भोले नमः शिवाय
गोपेश्वराय शिव गोपेश्वराय हर हर भोले नमः शिवाय
योगेश्वराय शिव योगेश्वराय हर हर भोले नमः शिवाय
नमः शिवाय ॐ नमः शिवाय हर हर भोले नमः शिवाय
नमः शिवाय ॐ नमः शिवाय हर हर भोले नमः शिवाय
नमः शिवाय ॐ नमः शिवाय हर हर भोले नमः शिवाय
नमः शिवाय ॐ नमः शिवाय हर हर भोले नमः शिवाय
नमः शिवाय ॐ नमः शिवाय हर हर भोले नमः शिवाय
नमः शिवाय ॐ नमः शिवाय हर हर भोले नमः शिवाय
नमः शिवाय ॐ नमः शिवाय हर हर भोले नमः शिवाय
नमः शिवाय ॐ नमः शिवाय हर हर भोले नमः शिवाय
नमः शिवाय ॐ नमः शिवाय हर हर भोले नमः शिवाय
नमः शिवाय ॐ नमः शिवाय हर हर भोले नमः शिवाय
नमः शिवाय ॐ नमः शिवाय हर हर भोले नमः शिवाय
नमः शिवाय ॐ नमः शिवाय हर हर भोले नमः शिवाय
नमः शिवाय ॐ नमः शिवाय हर हर भोले नमः शिवाय
नमः शिवाय ॐ नमः शिवाय हर हर भोले नमः शिवाय
नमः शिवाय ॐ नमः शिवाय हर हर भोले नमः शिवाय
नमः शिवाय ॐ नमः शिवाय हर हर भोले नमः शिवाय
त्र्यम्बकं त्र्यम्बकाय शिव त्र्यम्बकाय हर हर भोले नमः शिवाय
नमः शिवाय शिवाय हर हर भोले नमः शिवाय
त्र्यम्बकाय शिव त्र्यम्बकाय हर हर भोले नमः शिवाय
हर हर भोले नमः शिवाय
नमः शिवाय ॐ नमः शिवाय हर हर भोले नमः शिवाय
नमः शिवाय ॐ नमः शिवाय हर हर भोले नमः शिवाय
सर्वेश्वराय शिव सर्वेश्वराय 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 हर हर भोले नमः शिवाय
नमः शिवाय ॐ नमः शिवाय हर हर भोले नमः शिवाय
नमः शिवाय ॐ नमः शिवाय हर हर भोले नमः शिवाय
नमः शिवाय ॐ नमः शिवाय हर हर भोले नमः शिवाय
नमः शिवाय ॐ नमः शिवाय हर हर भोले नमः शिवाय
गोपेश्वराय शिव गोपेश्वराय हर हर भोले नमः शिवाय
सोमेश्वराय शिव सोमेश्वराय हर हर भोले नमः शिवाय
गोपेश्वराय शिव गोपेश्वराय हर हर भोले नमः शिवाय
सोमेश्वराय शिव सोमेश्वराय हर हर भोले नमः शिवाय
नमः शिवाय ॐ नमः शिवाय हर हर भोले नमः शिवाय
नमः शिवाय ॐ नमः शिवाय हर हर भोले नमः शिवाय
नमः शिवाय ॐ नमः शिवाय हर हर भोले नमः शिवाय
नमः शिवाय ॐ नमः शिवाय हर हर भोले नमः शिवाय
नमः शिवाय ॐ नमः शिवाय हर हर भोले नमः शिवाय
नमः शिवाय ॐ नमः शिवाय हर हर भोले नमः शिवाय
नमः शिवाय ॐ नमः शिवाय हर हर भोले नमः शिवाय
नमः शिवाय ॐ नमः शिवाय हर हर भोले नमः शिवाय
सोमेश्वराय शिव सोमेश्वराय 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 हर हर भोले नमः शिवाय
सोमेश्वराय शिव ओम नमः शिवाय हर हर भोले नमः शिवाय
नमः शिवाय ओम नमः शिवाय हर हर भोले नमः शिवाय
नमः शिवाय ओम नमः शिवाय हर हर भोले नमः शिवाय
नमः शिवाय ओम नमः शिवाय हर हर भोले नमः शिवाय
नमः शिवाय ओम नमः शिवाय हर हर भोले नमः शिवाय
नमः शिवाय ओम नमः शिवाय हर हर भोले नमः शिवाय
बोलिए सर्वेश्वर भगवान की
जय।
सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः।
Welcome to Satsang, everyone. Let's begin with a short meditation together. So get yourself into any position that's comfortable for you. But just make sure that you are straight, not rigid, but straight, and that your breath can flow freely. Allow the awareness the focus and consciousness to pull inward from the world outside. Allow the awareness to merge with your breath. Become fully conscious, fully aware of the breath. As it flows in and as it flows out. but allow that awareness to be low in the abdomen. Most of us breathe just from our chest, but instead of that, see if you can bring the breath to a place that's just about 2 inches below your belly button. It's called the Swadisthana Chakra. Bring the awareness of the breath there. So take the inhalations from there, and at the end of each exhalation, allow yourself to sink deeply into that place at the core of the being. Keep drawing the awareness into the breath. If there are sounds or sensations in the outside world, don't allow them to grab your attention. Just keep the awareness focused on the breath. As you exhale, on each exhalation, allow yourself to let go. Let go of all that is holding you back. All of that which is not the true self. Let go of the masks that you wear, the roles that you play. Let go of the stress, the responsibility. Let go of your attachment to your history and your identity. With each exhalation, just keep letting go. And sink deeper and deeper into the core of the being. And again, if sounds come in the outer world, don't allow your awareness to be grabbed by them. Just keep bringing the awareness back to the breath. Letting go more and more exhalation. And allow yourself to sink deeper and deeper into the core of the self. Allow yourself at the end of each exhalation to rest for a moment in that place, the place with no masks, no roles, no identity. No responsibility. Allow yourself to rest for a moment there before beginning the next inhalation. It expands as we rest in it. That place of peace, of light, of divinity. Bring the palms of your hands gently together at chest level in Namaste and rub them gently against each other. Place your palms over your closed eyes. Gently open your eyes into the palms of your hands and lower your hands. Wonderful. Welcome again to Satsang. I'll begin with one of our questions that have come in advance and then open it up to any questions that anyone here has. Please define spiritual awareness, and why are some people able to attain the state seemingly more easily than others? Spiritual awareness is an awareness of the truth of who we are. But an experiential awareness, so not an awareness just because I read it in a book or I heard someone say it or I know it theoretically. Spiritual awareness is really being able to live in that state. Now, it doesn't mean that we never fall back. You don't necessarily have to be completely enlightened in order to talk about spiritual awareness. There's a lot of people with beautiful states of spiritual awareness who aren't necessarily, 100% fully enlightened beings. And that's great because it means that there's hope for everyone between being nowhere and being fully enlightened, which is great. So the awareness is really an awareness of who I am. And what that means is that as I'm moving through the world, I'm not impacted in the same way by things that aren't about the truth of who I am. So for example, if someone says to you, that is just the worst purple mohawk that I've ever seen. Like, you should really talk to your hairdresser who gave you that purple mohawk because that's a horrible purple mohawk. Now, you don't have a purple mohawk. You don't have a mohawk at all, or hair that's even slightly purple. And so you wouldn't be actually upset about it. Even if the person got meaner and was like, my God, that's such an ugly purple mohawk. How can you go out with that purple mohawk? They could keep saying things. And at most, you would start to think that person's a little bit off their rocker. But it wouldn't push you off your rocker. Because fully, 100%, I do not have a purple mohawk. And therefore, whatever that person is seeing is in their own eyes, their own brain. There's some serious problem either with their eyes or with their brain. And so it doesn't impact us in the same way. The things of the world throw us because we've got something invested in gaining that approval, gaining that prestige, gaining that love, gaining whatever it is that we're looking for from the people in the world around us. And so most of us are the equivalent of going through the world, not having a purple mohawk, but thinking we do. And so when people say, that's a really ugly purple mohawk, we're like, oh my God, I knew it. I knew it. I knew it was horrible. I shouldn't go out like this. I'm so ugly. Now, it's a metaphor, of course. But the point is, all of that which people are saying, or the society is saying, or the culture is saying, that hurts us, it hurts us because we believe it. I purposely chose a really outlandish example because we all know nobody in here has a purple mohawk. But if someone says to you, you're stupid, you're worthless, like, can't you do anything right? It stings because we believe it. But really, it's the equivalent of someone saying, you've got a really ugly purple mohawk. But because we actually believe on some level that we're not smart enough, good enough, whole enough, worthy enough. Because so many of us are moving through the world with less than a full sense of the divinity of who we are, less than a full spiritual awareness. Regardless of how blind or sick people are in their eyes or in their brain, we take what they say. Somebody takes out their own anger on us. You're the worst. I wish I never saw you. I hope I never see you again. I can't believe I liked you. I can't believe I married you. I can't believe I hired you. Whatever the conversation may be. And instead of understanding this person has a problem in their brain, like we do with somebody telling us we have an ugly purple mohawk, in those cases we feel it. Oh my God, there's something wrong with me. And we feel deeply depressed. Or we get engaged. Well, you're so stupid. I wish I never married you. I wish I never took this job. I wish, you're the worst boss. You're the worst spouse. Whatever it may be. We get engaged because suddenly we're on the defensive. Then we become on the offensive. And then you get the full-blown stuff that most of our homes or offices or lives are made of. Whether we're actually having brawls or whether it's much more the silent, door-slamming, passive-aggressive silent treatment, either way, we're engaging on that level that's not true self because we're not yet aware of who we are. You didn't come home on time. You didn't help me with the dishes. It means you don't love me. Therefore, I'm not going to talk to you. Therefore, I'm not going to make you dinner. Therefore, I won't be nice to you. Again, it's false self. You're not home on time. That means you don't love me. Well, no, that just means you don't respect time. Doesn't make it okay. It doesn't mean that being late is a good thing. But it means that immediately what we interpret from it is false. You didn't help me with the dishes, therefore I won't talk to you. Well, really what it means is you don't respect me. True. Again, not right, not good, certainly something worth discussing. But remember that that's all about my personality, my drama. You don't respect me in the way that my ego has decided I need to be respected. I've decided that showing up on time or doing the dishes is the mark for love and respect in this house. Well, that's pretty arbitrary. But this is where we get hurt. And this is where we suffer. And it's all simply because we're not actually aware of who we are, of the truth of who we are. The fact that we're soul, we're spirit, we're consciousness, we're essence, we're love, we're divinity, we're peace. That's who we are. And when we know that, then regardless of what someone says to us, or regardless of whether they're on time or not on time, or help with the dishes or don't help with the dishes, it's not going to change how I feel about myself. It doesn't mean I'm not going to put rules in my house. It doesn't mean I'm going to let myself get all walked over. It doesn't mean any of those things. But it means that I'm not going to be miserable inside. And I'm not going to lose myself and react because I'm grounded. I'm anchored in who I am. And so this is where spiritual awareness is very, very beneficial. And why is it easier for some people? Well, if we realize that spiritual awareness is being aware of the truth of who we are, that which keeps us from being aware is our ignorance, our ego, our false self, our identities. Those of us who, whether it's through karma, whether it's through situations in our family of origin, in our childhood, whether it's through different aspects of our personality or our histories, some people have more hardened false selves than others. Trauma, difficulty, conflict, anything less than lots and lots and lots of love for who you are and not what you do is going to give us a pretty hardened ego. And the more crystallized our ego is, the more difficult it's going to be to realize that that's not who I am. The more identified I am as the ego, which again tends to happen in difficulties and conflict, especially in early childhood if we've been through difficult situations. That tends to be what forces us to develop a more crystallized sense, out of protection typically, of the self. But either way, doesn't really matter why it's easier for some people than others. What matters is, how do I do it? That's the core. How do I do it? Not why is it so easy for them. Because the truth is, a lot of people may be doing what Puja Swamiji calls posing our calm, rather than, as he says, calming our pose. When you really have spiritual awareness, the pose automatically gets calm because we realize, who cares? What am I trying to show anyway? It's not me. None of these poses is me. So the pose automatically gets calmed. But as he says, there's a lot of people who pose our calm. So we pretend to be more calm, more peaceful, more awakened, more enlightened than really. So never compare yourself to another person, because you don't actually know what's going on inside them. People put on a lot of shows. Worry only about yourself. How can I wake up? How can I become free of the false self? How can I remember every minute and every moment? That's just my ego. Okay, good thing, because it doesn't feel so nice. All right, nice to know that's not me. We recognize it, you know. Thank you, ego. So glad you dropped by for a cup of tea. You can go home now. However you want to do it. I find humor works actually very, very nicely. It enables you to sort of stay kind and soft with the self, rather than, my God, what are you so stupid? There you are, overcome by your ego again. It's nicer to be calm and gentle with the self. And then you let it be on its way. But we've got something like in the meditation, we keep coming back to the breath. In the same way in our life, we keep coming back to the self. And yeah, we get pulled away like we do when we're meditating. Noise comes, something happens. And then we come back to the breath. In the same way in life, yeah, we get distracted by that, pulled away from that, but we keep coming back. We keep reminding ourselves, I'm meditating. And in life, that's not me. Not me, not me, not me. And it helps even just to name it. You just yelled at somebody. Okay. Well, before we start yelling at ourselves, at least give yourself a moment of saying, not me. That's not me. Doesn't mean again it was okay. Yes, you should go and apologize. Yes, you should make amends. But not me. I'm not the one who yelled. I'm also not the one who felt the anger, which is even deeper and more important. Because if I keep identifying as the one who feels angry, the one who is angry, I'll keep yelling, or I'll just stuff it in. What I need to learn is to identify not me, not just the one who yelled, but the one who was upset enough to yell. The one who lost herself because someone just said something stupid, or because something didn't work out, or because something I wanted to happen didn't happen, or the one who got angry at that's not me. It's not the truth of who I am. That's my programmed not self. So we keep reminding ourselves, not me, not me. And that's true, by the way, even with the good stuff. So something does work out well, the ego feels great. You've got to be equally diligent, not me. Spiritual practice is not only for the hard times. Not me. Everybody's praising you, everybody's worshiping you, everybody's touching your feet. Not me. You're first in your class. Not me. Sure, you did the work. You can absolutely feel proud of the discipline, the sincerity, the time, the energy that went into doing whatever work you're now being praised for. Sure. In the same way that you should feel bad if you yell at somebody unnecessarily. And you should go and apologize. So we are responsible for our actions. And it's certainly, of course, helpful and fine to know these are actions that I should not feel good about. These are actions that I was responsible, I was tenacious, I was sincere, I was diligent. Okay. But still, not self, not me. Even the one who was responsible and the one who was irresponsible. The one who studied, the one who didn't study, not me. Not me, not me. So I'm not the stuff I'm proud of. I'm also not the stuff I'm not proud of. Now, because we live in a world in which we have to have roles, we are a student, we are an employer, we are an employee, we are a business person, we are a sweeper, we are whatever we are. We are a father, a mother, a child, a neighbor. I mean, we play so many roles in our life. It's not about not playing the roles. It's not about not playing them well, not playing them sincerely. We are expected to play them sincerely. But to remember, not me. I'm not the one in the role. That's just the mask and the costume that I've been given for this particular intersection of the time-space drama. You know, it's like if you got picked on to do an improv and somebody says to you, okay, right here, right now, you're a customer. You've walked into a coffee shop. It's February. It's freezing. Go. Okay, there's your drama. This intersection of time and space. Next week, you come back to the class. Next week you come back and they say, okay, you're a mother. You've just lost your son. And you're trying to comfort your daughter from the loss of her brother. Go. Different drama. Different duty. Different role. This is as we play the roles in our life. We're compelled, deeply compelled play them sincerely, to play them with as much sincerity as we can. But to realize that we're playing a role. Not me. Not me. And so as you're doing it, as you're living, remember, whatever role you're in, the drama's not you. And keep coming back. Where's me? Where's me? Where's me? Who is me? Who is me? Where am I? Just keep drawing the self back like you draw back to the breath in meditation. And it brings you to a place of awareness. And that's the spiritual awareness. So I'm happy to open it up if anyone here has any questions before taking any of the others that have come in advance. Yeah. Yeah, you and then you. Or you and then you. Either way. Okay. That's nice. Ladies first. Okay. Yes.
I might be asking something that many people would already have the answer in this room, but what is the progress of the universe by giving us a mind and a body and an ego concept?
Yeah, it's a great question, and it's a question that, yes, it does come up a lot, but it's one that you can never actually ask too much because it brings us into the truth of who we are. You didn't hear. She said, so what's the point actually of if we're supposed to realize that we are not that, then why do we have it? Why have a mind? Why have a body if I'm not it? So here's the interesting irony. I actually need my body-mind to be able to experience the truth of the fact that I'm not my body-mind. If I didn't have a body, and by body I include the brain, the medium through which we experience our mind. If I didn't have a brain, I couldn't meditate. I couldn't ask myself, who am I? I couldn't go within. I couldn't understand I am consciousness and soul. So I actually, ironically, need the brain at least to know who I am. But the brain can't actually take me all the way. And this is the dilemma, is that I actually need to use the brain, mind, in order to go beneath it or above it, however you envision it. For me, it's always about sinking down, but people may think about going up. Either way, it doesn't matter. The directions are not important. But I need that in order to be able to go beyond it. Because only the brain can enable me to meditate, to contemplate. But then, as I'm meditating, when I get to a place where everything becomes still, where the mind stops, I also need to just let that happen. Because that's when the brain-mind becomes a hindrance. Then I'll say, oh, wait, I forgot I was, I have a meditation technique. I'm supposed to be doing my technique. Or, oh my God, is this what samadhi feels like? Or, oh my God, pulls me out of it. So the mind, brain, can actually only think about something That's how it functions. It has to hold things at an arm's length and look at them. It can do math problems. It can navigate through the world, see the world. As long as it can hold something at an arm's length and analyze it, that's what the mind can do. So the mind is helpful in that it can say to you, you are suffering because you are living in the not true self. I'm going to meditate. Okay, I'm going to meditate. I'm going to watch my breath. I'm going to let go of that which is not myself. I'm going to sink deeper. This is the mind doing it, right? So I need my mind to be able to do that. But my mind can't take me the whole way. Because as long as I'm thinking about meditating, as long as I'm thinking about my breath, thinking about my soul, I'm not actually experiencing it. It's the same thing with love. Imagine that you're in the arms of a beloved. If in those arms you're thinking about, oh wow, this is a really nice hug. Oh wow, I hope this hug just goes on and on and on. I hope the hug doesn't end. God, it's been a long time since I've had a hug that's this good, right? You're no longer there. You've actually thought to yourself, your body may still be there, but you've actually thought to yourself out of the hug. Now you're back in all the time it's been since you've had a good hug. And in all the fear of how long it's going to be till you get another good hug again. And all that sense of I hope this doesn't end, right? So the mind has actually pulled me out of the experience. Again, because that's what the mind does. It can only understand things from an arm's length. So we need the mind to get us in there. The mind is the one that says, I really love that person. I'm so grateful to have that person. I'm going to give them a big hug. Because the mind does that. The mind navigates your way so that you don't trip over the table and the chair and you get there. The brain makes the arms know what to do. How do they, if you didn't have a functional brain, you couldn't raise your arms. You couldn't figure out how close or far or fat or skinny the person was. Literally, that's all the brain. We'd do this, or we'd, squash the person, hug them too hard. The brain is the thing that actually enables us to do all that. But then, you let go of the mind. Or you miss the hug. So in the same way, now when we take it spiritually in terms of my meditation, it's the same thing. My mind gets me there, gets me into position, walks me through, gets me. But eventually, I'm going to reach a place, maybe not in my first meditation, but if I do it enough times, I'm going to reach a place where the mind actually becomes still. That place of what's called no mind. And you want to be sure to allow that to keep happening, to stay in that, rather than allow the mind to hijack that by saying, oh wow, look, now I'm in no mind. God, I'm so good at this meditation thing. This is so easy. They said it was going to take months. Look at this, first time, here I am, no mind, right? Gone. I wonder what you call this. Okay, tomorrow when I go, I'm going to ask in Satsang. I had this. I have to remember exactly what it's like so I can ask. Gone. So the brain, as the body, actually are the medium through which we experience our consciousness. I'm not aware that I'm conscious if I don't have a functional brain. I'm not even aware that I'm alive. It's how we experience our consciousness. It's what enables us to go deeper and expand our consciousness. But then we need to leave at least the mind part of it behind. And then the body and the mind and the brain actually become gifts rather than burdens. Because then we use them to experience the beauty, the exquisiteness of creation. Rather than being burdens, they become just these incredible organs that enable us to see, to smell, to feel, to taste, to touch. The incredibleness of all of creation. And we're able to experience it because we don't need something from it. We're not looking to it to fill us. Okay, yeah. Yes. Okay. So is it necessary to remove things from our past lives or earlier in this life? And if it is necessary, how can we remove them faster? Or is it even necessary at all? Because if I'm just in the present, does it matter? Well, my past has several big influences on my present. One, karma. I am where I am right now because of what happened in the past. That aspect of it, let it go. Meaning, you obviously have to deal with where you are right now. But what you did exactly, when it was, earlier this life, some past life that got you here, doesn't matter. It also leaves on me what in Indian culture we call sanskaras. In the West, we talk more about neural networks and patterning, but it's basically the same thing. My habitual way, not conscious habitual, meaning I'm not actually doing this every time, but a patterned way that I think, a patterned way that I move through the world. Sanskaras is sometimes translated as impressions, so impressions upon my being of how I take things. This is the unconscious stuff. So if, for example, I shared a bedroom with an older brother when I was young, and every time my parents turned off the light, he beat me with his baseball bat, I develop a fear of the dark. Okay? Now, let's say that happened when I was very young. Maybe I was 3 or 4 or 5, let's say. Every time lights went out, he always, hid his baseball bat under his bed, and lights went out, and bam, bam, bam. Okay. So in my mind, dark pain. Dark pain. I grow up, I'm afraid of the dark. I have no idea why. I don't even think about why. All I know is I'm afraid of the dark. I need to sleep with all my lights on. Well, staying in the present moment, unfortunately, isn't going to help me heal that nearly as quickly as knowing that I'm afraid of the dark because of what happened, because then I actually have something very concrete to work with and to heal. Oh, yeah, it's that. Okay. So maybe I go through some forgiveness work around my brother. Maybe I go through some work about feeling safe in the world. And my fear will go away. Now I could do it. I could do it without going back. It's not essential that I go back. But knowing why we are the way we are is actually quite helpful. I tend to be on a personal level, I have a background in psychology, and I tend to be a fan of insight. It's very easy to just stay in the present moment and totally ignore everything else. And when we talk about being mindful and being in the present, it's not about ignoring everything else. It's not about not planning. Puja Swamiji always says, failing to plan is planning to fail. So I have to understand that there is a future. And if who I am in the present is someone for whom the future is going to be hard or going to make it hard for other people, I'm getting married and my soon-to-be spouse is not very excited about sleeping with the lights on. Who I am in the present is going to cause difficulty in the future. I'm going camping. Really want to go camping, but oh my God, it's going to be dark in that tent. My past is preventing me from living in the present. I don't go camping. I don't go to third world countries where the electricity goes out. I'm handicapped by something from my past. And so in that case, it's helpful to look at it. Another last way, also a situation that's helpful to look at, is it's like sanskaras, but it's somewhat more conscious, is our past gives us what I call filters. When you were in school, did you ever learn to draw the alphabet with stencils? Like you had a plastic thing that had an A, for example, cut out. It was a big sheet of plastic and it would have an A, and you would just color in the thing, right? Do people know what I'm talking about? Did you have these in your schools too? Okay. Well, I'm never exactly sure what's really universal. So you do that, and you then pull away the plastic, and you've got left an A. Now, you didn't actually draw an A. You drew all over. But because the stencil is shaped like an A, it blocked out everything other than the A, you end up with an A on your piece of paper. Now, if in my childhood I had several siblings, we didn't have much money, I was one of the youngest, let's say, and every time we sat down for dinner, my older siblings grabbed all the food before I could get to any. And because we didn't have much money, it wasn't like I could just say, Mom, bring out more. It was the holidays, toys came, they grabbed all of the toys before I could get any. Okay, so my experience is lack. My experience is I'm always the one who gets, the short end of the stick. I then move into my life, into my world. I've got a good job, I'm making money, everything is fine. But every single time anything happens, there's a party, I didn't get invited. 2 of my coworkers go out to lunch, they didn't invite me. Somebody brings in a cake, oh my God, it's finished before I found out about it. I react in a way that is way out of proportion to the present moment situation, because I'm moving through the world with one of those stencils, right? Regardless of what happens, I see lack. I see getting left out. I see being the one who doesn't get any, because that's my stencil. So regardless of what people are coloring, my experience is, you left me out, you ignored me, you took my things, this isn't fair, I never get any, nothing is fair, etc. That becomes my life. in those situations, yes, a practice of meditation is wonderful. Brings you into the present moment. In the present moment, I'm full, I'm enough, I'm whole. But it's hard to maintain that for a long time. This is where we slip out of it. I may be able to do it with my eyes closed in my meditation, but then I'm in the office and again there's a cake and they forgot to tell me and I didn't get any and oh my God, everybody hates me. I should just leave. Because that's my stencil. And so a bit of psychological work that enabled us to go back and to say, wow, that's a really interesting reaction to not getting any chocolate cake. That's a really interesting reaction to your coworkers going out to lunch without inviting you. Why do you think you react like that? Why do you think you've got that stencil? And then you go back, oh yeah. Because most of us are not moving through our present day world aware of how our childhood dining tables or Christmas celebrations or all those aspects, how much they are impacting our present day reality. The reality that's not a reality because I've got this stencil up in front of my life, but it feels like a reality to me. And so in that way, going to the past is very helpful for analysis, for insight, for understanding, for contemplation. So that, but the point is, and this is the bottom line, is the reason I go to the past is so I can be free of it. It's not so I can get stuck back in it. It's not so I can say, oh my God, you left me out. Everybody's always been leaving me out. I never get anything. My brothers did this to me. My sisters did this to me. Now you also do it. Not for that. But I go back to the past so I can really be free. Because if we've got stuff in our past, it's very difficult to be free of it without actually looking at it. Not impossible. The power of grace is such that it could absolutely touch you and wipe everything else away. But it's unusual to happen in that way. Really unusual. Even people who have had very powerful spiritual experiences, myself included, other people I know included, it's still important, even after that, to keep looking, because that doesn't necessarily mean you're done. My favorite teacher on this is Jack Kornfield, who's a very, very, very famous Buddhist meditation teacher in America and a dear friend and mentor of mine. And he speaks a lot about, he had been a monk. He was a Buddhist monk for many, many years, having attained great states of enlightenment, oneness, awakening. And when he went back to America, how difficult it was to just deal with his parents. You know, he always says, if you think you're enlightened, go home for a couple weeks. And what that makes you realize is I've had a very real, very true, very deep spiritual awakening, or just spiritual experience, depending on how full and complete it may be. But that doesn't mean that the impressions of the decades leading up to this moment just disappeared. The sanskaras are still there. And this is where it's really helpful to look at them, to work through them, so that we can be free of them. Yeah, great. Have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your evening, everyone. And I will see you all tomorrow. For those of you who are not already taking part in our spiritual retreat, if you'd like to, we have a retreat on through the 19th. And it's yoga and meditation and fire ceremonies and puja and chanting and so much. So there's a schedule up in the reception, and you can talk to Induji as well and Lori as well about joining either some or all of it. Wonderful.